We're here today to educate and teach you a little bit about how to maintain your shuffleboard table. We're going to talk a little bit about how to adjust your climate adjusters on the board. You take a straight edge, put it across the board, and you want to be able to slide a piece of paper comfortably under the center of the board. This is called concave, where the board is a little low in the center. If it's convex, that means that it's high in the center and you won't be able to slide this paper underneath. To demonstrate, I'm going to show you how to adjust the adjusters. You have nuts on the inside and outside of this bracket. If you take these two nuts on the inside loose, and we take these two outside nuts and we push those in, we'll make the board more convex. Basically, it's convex, outside nuts in, concave, inside nuts out. This is the other style of climate adjuster. And again, you want the same principle. You want it to be low enough to slide a piece of paper underneath. If the board is too concave and you want to make it more convex, meaning you want to bend it like this to where it has a hump in the center, you'll take the nut above the bar and you lower it down. And what that's doing is that's pushing up on the center of the board, and that's making this piece of paper tighter. Now, if you need it to be more concave, lower in the center, you take the nut on the top of the bar, loosen it, and then you'll take the bottom nut and you'll tighten it up, and you're pulling down on the center of the board, and you're bringing the board more concave, lower in the center of the board. That's to keep your pucks on the table, to keep them from flying off the table. At the end of the table, I like the paper to comfortably be able to take a complete sheet of paper and slide it into the level very easily underneath the center. More towards the center of the board, we still want to try and keep the board concave, low in the center, but maybe not to where you can slide the whole piece of paper underneath. Maybe in order to start the paper, you have to start with a corner of the paper. And as you slide the paper, there's a little bit of drag, a little bit of resistance. So the board's still flat, slightly concave, slightly low in the center, but not as low as at the end of the board. Now once you've adjusted your climate adjusters and you're ready to play, before you apply the wax, we typically use a silicone spray. It'll make your board play a little faster. You basically apply the silicone spray in a sweeping pattern. You just go up and down your entire board. Make sure you cover the entire board with a coat of silicone. And after that silicone has dried slightly, then you'll take a rag and slightly buff it. And as you're buffing, you'll notice that it's kind of slick. It's making the top of your surface slick. This is probably one of the most misunderstood terms that we use in shuffleboards. People think of wax, they think in car wax, paste wax. People call this dust, people call this sawdust, people call this powder, all kinds of things. But in the shuffleboard terminology, we call it wax. Basically for this, you just apply an ample amount and you sprinkle it across, back and forth across the table. Use this wax over and over. You can play several games on the same coating of wax. Occasionally you may find that the wax will start certain areas, more of it will push off than others, and you might want to just spot wax, just put a little more wax in one area. After the table is waxed, you're basically ready to shove your pucks down the board and play shuffleboard. We hope you find this maintenance video helpful, and now you understand a little bit more about how to maintain and care for your shuffleboard table.